Having served as the headquarters of the Assam province in the early 1900s, Shillong was no longer a stranger to active socio-political, socio-economic, and legal affairs where the basic knowledge of how the system works with little or no regard to justice and equality was already comprehended by a few well-read individuals. While education was one such weapon to counter the glaring discrimination meted out against the local people, a study of law was another tool to ensure justice prevailed. Thus, the need for a collective body of individuals well versed with the law was felt, subsequently leading to the establishment of the Shillong Bar Association in the capital city in 1913. It is one of the oldest bars in the country. In this episode of Shillong's iconic structures, we are featuring the Shillong Bar Association and its decades-old Assam-type structure located at Secretariat Hills next to the district courts and behind the Deputy Commissioner's office in Shillong. There is never a day except for Sundays and holidays that its premises and halls are empty. Members of the Black Coat tribe are always seen parading the streets from the High Court to the District Court and back to the bar, never a dull or mundane way of life. Describing the Shillong Bar Association as the custodian of civil liberty, senior advocate Bishnu Pada Datta in his article titled 100 Years of Shillong Bar Association, published in the 2015 souvenir as part of the bar's centenary celebration, wrote, 1913 was an auspicious and eventful year when the Bar Association was inaugurated at Shillong with 5 members, though hearsay yet presumed to be correct. Records indicated that the lawyers who first started their practice in Shillong included Rai Sahib Hormu Roy Dengdok, Kalisade Bhattacharjee, Sarad Bhattacharjee, Nimai Biswas, Guru Charan Dhar, Mr. Harris Khiro Datta, Mr. Wasi and Khan Sahib Amjad Ali.
In a way, I think the bar is the largest NGO worldwide, It is a movement towards securing justice, and it is a growing movement all over the world. So, this members of this profession are committed to a very, very noble cause of striving for justice for those who require justice.
The history of the Shillong Bar Association is interwoven with the country's freedom movement. Due to the deliberate policy of the British government to keep Shillong away from participation in politics, it was difficult for the lawyers to join any political party or movement, yet some lawyers who were discontented with the way things were panning out across the country defied the rules and joined politics and subsequently the Quit India movement. Members of the bar like Charu Datta, Lala B.K. Dey, Ahmed Ali Khan, Rajni Goswami, Rajan Mahanta, P.C. Biswas, H.R. Das and Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed, who later on became the 5th President of India, were actively associated with the freedom movement, and some of them were imprisoned during the 1930-31 and 1942 Quit India movement. Let's talk about this long and interesting journey from a one-room chamber at the DC's office to a 14-room building at Secretariat Hills. It was said that back in the day, before the separation of the judiciary from the executive, the Deputy Commissioner used to preside and decide on the cases as a magistrate. The bar used to operate from a room allotted at the DC's office. In course of time, the bar was allotted its own space adjacent to the district courts, which it continues to occupy to date. Before Meghalaya attained statehood, this structure was a wooden frame occupied by the Assam Public Service Commission till it was moved to Guwahati post 1972. After the capital of Assam was shifted to Dispur, the 14-room wooden structure was handed over to the government of Meghalaya, who then allotted different rooms to different offices, including the Shillong Bar Association, which at that time occupied only one room. The other offices that were once upon a time housed in the building included the Zilla Sainik Board and the Civil Task Force, among others. Later, as the number of members increased, the government decided to allot the entire building to the Shillong Bar Association. At present, there are over 800 members with over 300 active members led by Advocate H.R. Nath as the president. Though the exact year of the construction of the building is not known, the structure and design, however, indicate that it has been there for at least 60 years or more. From the look of it, the building has not undergone much change in the past few years except for minor repairs like the replacement of power lines and roofing from tin to diner roof. The interiors of the building continue to remain more or less the same with high ceiling rooms, wooden doors and windows and ekra walls covered with plaster in between. The building includes approximately 14 rooms, 4 halls and around 10 small chambers. The building, with 2 main entrances leading up to the main halls where lawyers sit, is always frequented by litigants seeking legal advice and support. It might interest you to know that 2 small rooms inside the building were previously lockups, as this part of the building was once upon a time used by the office of the prosecuting sub-inspector for municipal areas. There's not much to admire visually about the premises except for the heritage look of the building. Some of the important litigations and cases taken up by members of the bar included the 1995 public interest litigation seeking separation of the judiciary from the executive. The same became a reality only in 2010 when the Supreme Court upheld the order issued by the Shillong bench of the Guwahati High Court in 2002, directing the state government to make the necessary separation. In 2011, East Khasi Hills became the first district in Meghalaya to separate the judiciary from the executive. Other relevant cases included the 1997 case relating to the British-administered area in Khasi Hills and the 1998 PIL to curtail the law and order situation in Shillong, among others. Apart from India's 5th President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed and other freedom fighters, the Shillong Bar Association has produced various stalwarts like former Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Bibi Lyngdoh, Maham Singh, the former Minister of Assam and Meghalaya and founder President of Shillong Law College, Kromlin Lyngdoh, the first judge of the District Council Court Shillong, A.S. Khongbai, the first to be elected from Shillong as a member of the Bar Council of Assam, former politicians like S.D. Khongwir, Tony Curtis Lyngdoh, G.S. Masar Bindo, M. Lanong, among others. The Shillong Bar Association became a registered society in 2021. With the profession becoming sought after, a need for a bigger place was felt as the present site is too small to accommodate all its active members. From a 5-member association in 1913 to a strong and collective body of over 800 members at present, the Shillong Bar Association has come a long way in influencing a change in society through its petitions and in providing legal advice and support to litigants.
Most vital aspect is the growth of the judiciary. The judiciary and the judicial process must be fine-tuned, and the more it is fine-tuned, the procedural laws are clearly set up. Wherever there are clogs nowadays, those are removed, and how better justice can be reached to the farthest corners of this state, So as the growth is there, the bar also will grow. And as the bar grows, Shillong Bar Association, very much a part of it, in fact a leading part of it. Shillong Bar also has to grow. So I look forward. Of course, we are now over the fence, but for the new generations, there should be better scope in the future.